Alright, so as you can hear the progress, there's music. It's been pretty tricky to do. I had to convert the muse file to MID files. So there are tons of open source project that does this. QMuse to MID is the ones I took, but it was in C, so I had to port that one also. So I ported it, so it's doing it in the code, right? It's loading it from the WAD, it's converting it, then it's saving it to a MIDI file in the game folder. So I had no choice to do this because the function I'm using to play the MIDI can only play it from a file. I cannot pass a buffer to it. It's using MCI from Windows. It's a command line where you can play media files through the command line. I don't know, it's kind of weird, but it seems to be the standard way to play MIDI. Otherwise I would have to use a third party, and I want to limit the number of third party I put in there. So that's for the music, so I can start a map and you'll hear it. So it doesn't loop yet. I don't know how to change the volume. It doesn't seem possible. It doesn't work. So yeah, so I might have actually to use a third party to play MIDI if I want volume control on it. Hopefully my voice will be able to be louder than the music here. So there's a couple other things. So you already saw all the triggers and the doors and stuff. The other thing is I can disable textures now, so we can see more the lighting when it is. Hopefully the music is not too loud. It's very loud. We'll lower that right now. Yeah, so that must be better. The other thing is I started playing with ambient, but per vertex. So for example, if I enable it, so it's only on the walls. It's not on the floor. It's not on the ceilings. I will eventually try to do a strategy for the wall, for the ceilings and the floors. For the walls, it's basically the basic one is it's at the bottom and it's at the top. So if there's a ceiling, it's at the top. If there's no ceiling, like the sky, there won't be any. And the other one is the angle between the wall that is attached to it. So as you can see here, I will go in free camera just to show better. But you can see when I toggle it, it changes everything. It makes the games more solid. Which is the point of ambient occlusion anyway. So I'm really going to do this. It was a test to see how it will look, and it looked amazing. There are a lot of bugs like this, for example. There's not supposed to be ambient on those columns. That's caused by the invisible segments that are in there. So it's going to be really hard, mostly when there's steps. So if I go somewhere where there's steps, you will see the bug. The walls, so if I remove textures, all the walls gets it because there's an angle here with the step. So the whole wall get it. So I'm going to have to split the walls anytime there's steps and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot trickier than just what I'm doing right now. But see, it looks great. See that room here? Changes everything. So that's what I'm working on. For the floors, that's going to be a different story. So what I'm doing, I'm not actually splitting the mesh here. Well, I am in half, but I am doing this in the shader. So what I'm doing is I'm only using one color component, right? Everything is black or white or a shade of gray. So I pass the shade in the red color, and I use the green and the blue for the ambient information. So what I pass is the height of the wall. So when it's 16 pixel or 32 pixels from the bottom, it will shade it, and same thing at the top. So it's not going to stretch the shade however big I make the wall. So that worked really well, and I'm doing the same thing on the sides. The other thing, the precision, because I need to store that into color information, the height is not very precise. You know, I have to divide by, it has to be within 256, 1 byte. So you can see some glitches here and there. It's hard to see, I guess, in the video, but you will see the ambient flicker a little bit because of that precision. But with texture, nobody see that. You know, you just see that there's ambience there, and the glitches, they don't matter because they don't show up on the textures. So yeah, see, big difference here. Yeah, so that's it for now. There's some, this one is cool here. You can see the ambient in action here, that it works dynamically really well. If the walls stretch bigger or smaller, it works perfectly fine. Alright, thanks for listening.